guys, Brad M73 here. Welcome back to Star Wars Build the Millennium Falcon. Today we are going to be doing issue 86. It actually might take a few days, but let's just dig in. We'll take a quick look at the magazine here. We've got the Hammerhead Corvette. Don't remember which series this is from. I don't know if this is Clone Wars or after Clone Wars. Must be Rebels because Leia is there. CG Leia. Jakku, the Nema Outpost. Wait, did I miss a page? No, I did not. And yeah, just more Force Awakens stuff. So we've got the first bit of the assembly. Now, it says the part includes the final side frame, well, frames, the panel for the port mandible, as well as some plant-on details, which we'll add in this stage, and the LEDs for the landing lights. But I don't think these get installed until the next stage. Let's see here. The other weird thing is, like, in the bag, there's like this like a plastic tray. So, oh wait, maybe those contain. I think those actually contain the electrical parts. I don't think there's anything special to that. You know, we can just pop it open and check and see. Like this. So, okay, I see. Yeah, it's just nothing special, nothing to see here. It's just holding this in place. So, we have, it looks like a red, okay, the red LED, or the red wire, is going to be for this mandible. And the yellow ones, or kind of the orangish colored ones, those are actually going to be for the landing lights, which I'm pretty sure we're doing in the next issue. So, I'm going to set this aside for right now. Just kind of set it on top of some of my paints. See, nothing there, nothing in there. Tuck that away. Throw that away. And then, let's see, I think pretty much we get started doing plant-on details, maybe? Yeah, so we're going to be basically gluing this stuff together along with these little bits. We have like these engine component things that are probably going to glue. Yeah, they're going to glue onto either side of this. And then I'm going to need to paint this and, you know, all of these other pieces before I assemble them. So we're going to start out, we're going to just do the gluing stuff here. And then, because we're going to be painting this, I don't want to paint this, which we don't do until the plating here. I don't want to paint. Well, let's see here. Yeah, I don't want to paint all this first and then glue to, you know, on top of the paint. So we're going to glue all this stuff together first. Then going to prime and paint, and then we'll come back and finish up with the lighting. So I'm going to just move the camera position so you can kind of see what I'm doing here, and then we'll get started on the gluing. Okay, so I've got all the pieces here, and actually I want to start out with this piece first, just to get it out of the way. I know it's not until the next page, but I want to get it out of the way right now. And then we need these two pieces as well. They're kind of like engine blocks or something like that. I kind of think they were off of some type of a V8 engine model kit or something, but who knows? And just sanding this stuff down here. Okay. And then the side piece here. Well, the side of this piece. It's not really a side piece. All right. So if we show them pictured or as pictured, we kind of have it like this, with this piece over here, and then this piece like this, so that the circular parts are kind of towards the lighted bit. Okay. So what I will do is, well, first I need to find my super glue, which is hiding back here. And so I'm just gonna put some super glue in here, and let's see. And then, yeah. Always double check your pictures before you make the final touch, because when you're using super glue like this, it touches and bam, it's glued in place forever. All right. Again, we're gonna check the picture, and voila. All right, so all this piece needs is to be primed and then painted, so the insignia white, and so we don't get the anything into the hole there for the LED. So we'll set that aside. Now I go back to the last page, and we just have a couple pieces to glue in. And we've got these 6 pieces. I'll probably time-lapse that since they're kind of annoying to work with, but we'll see. So part number 1. And again, when I sand, I'm just very lightly sanding. I don't want to gouge the surface. Okay, so they've got the piece like this with the 2 holes going to the left. So basically like this, is that right? It does appear to be correct. So what I'm going to do, so I'm just going to pick it up here with my tweezers, super glue along the bottom. The peg's really good. And, try to get a little bit of super glue kind of spread around as much as you can, without, really overdoing it, but okay. Again, check the picture. We're good to go. And then you just align the holes like, well, like that. Hold everything together. And I can kind of see where I've got some excess super glue here, so take a little tissue paper here just to dab some extra glue out. And then I also had some extra in there. And good. All right. Next, glue the 2 pins on the back of number 2. Part number 2 is this big kind of piston piece here. I don't know what else you would call it other than a piston, but it looks like a piston to me. All right. So this time, it's going to kind of set in here like this with, is that right? Yeah. So the end with the 4 little circles is going to be off to the left there. And very small bit of glue. Okay. There we go. Just like that. And just kind of go around it with your, there you go. Ah, I'm sticking to it. All right, so we've got a little bit of excess super glue on there. Not a big deal. That's all going to get primed and painted, so you won't, you'll barely even notice it. Next is kind of like this piece up here, this round one. That fits into the 2 holes in the top of piece number 1, I think. Okay. So if I'm holding it this way, okay, they've got the little, I guess you can really only put it on one way. Okay, so it'll go on right like that. And I'll get a little bit of glue on the 2 pins here. And then I'm just going to kind of spread that around just a little bit. All right, here goes. All right. Okay. Next up, we've got to cut these guys off, so I'm going to just quickly time-lapse this. Okay. So we've got the 6 pieces out. Actually, I didn't really need to time-lapse that, but that's what we're gonna do. Okay, next up we've got these pieces, which are pretty much, let's see here. Okay, they're laid out kind of opposite on the page. So part numbers 4 and 5. So put this, drop that one, drop that one. And what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to just file the flatter part off first. And that's going to take, a bit more time to do each one. Let's see, how do they have them? Okay, they have them like this. No, like this. And then like this. That's how they have them laid out on the page. And then okay. And so basically it just talks about laying them out, so it's going to be kind of like right in there, whoops. So we have it like this. So yeah, there, and there, and then the same on the opposite side. So I'm just going to put a tiny bit of glue, come on. Okay. Okay. And again, just want to sand the back part there. Okay. Just be sure not to glue your tweezers together, because that'll be tons of fun to get them back apart. Let's see, I did another one. I use the tighter tweezers to sand with. Like that, okay. I guess they work just fine for gluing as well. So I will put a little bit of super glue on there. And the first side is finished. No, not quite. There we go. All right. So we'll let those sit and cure for a moment. Now we've got several more of these to do. 3 more. Well. Okay. This is kind of going to go the same way, but just the opposite direction. So we're going to turn it upside down here. And hopefully, got a little bit too much glue there. You'll see how I've got this going on. Bam. Just like that. Now we still have like little bits of the sprue in there, but I want them to glue in place before I start to sand those, and we'll use one of the fine sanding files that I've got. Okay. All right. Got a lot of glue here on the back side. There, perfect. All right, one more to go. Is this the one I... Nope, I don't know. I would have swore I sanded one of these. I'm going to have to go back and watch it again. Or maybe I glued it already. Who knows? You know. You guys can watch it. Okay. Okay. The last one is coming. Right. Whoops. This one's always the funnest. I kid, totally not the funnest. Get in there. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna let that one cure. We're gonna pick up the first one we did, and I've got my really small triangular file here, and I'm just gonna go and remove each of the sprue bits. Can be very difficult to see these. I'd say that looks pretty good there. And you know, don't be afraid to take your time if you're having trouble with this. These pieces are very small, and if you don't have the right tools, I still highly recommend you pick up one of these really small triangular files. They're only like $1 or $2. They're definitely pretty inexpensive at most hobby shops that I've seen, at least. Okay, so we've got those two done. Now they have them laid out like this. And then we've got these two kind of long pieces here. So we've got we've got the bottom piece here. And I'm just laying this, wait a second. No. They have it like this. Okay. So you got to pay attention to how the pieces are laid out, or you might muck them up. Okay, nothing else on the sprue. We can throw that away. All right. Throw the little small one away as well. Okay. Got that one done. Just every once in a while, I get some dust off of these guys, and boy, I tell you, it makes me sneeze like crazy. Either that or it's like hay fever season. That's probably what it is. Okay. So let's see here. We have to... We have that laid out like this, and then this one laid out like that. Okay. And let's see. Glue the 2 lugs on the back of 4 and into these 2 matching slots in 6. So which is 6? This is 7. This is definitely 6. Okay, so that's 6. So this would be like this, and then this will be like this. And again, I'm just comparing the photos in the manual. That looks like that's how it's going to go in there. So let's glue it. Okay. Okay. Again, I'm just going to grab this toothpick just to kind of rub some of this glue around. And then you gotta be careful which way you actually put this in. So right like this. And I'm just gonna hold that there for a moment while the super glue bonds with its magic bonding powers. And there we go. We got the first bit done. That is going to fit in like something like this. Like that. You almost don't even need to glue that one. Yes, you do. Okay, the next piece is kind of the same thing. Just backwards. Going to fit in like this. Like that. So again... Get the toothpick. There we go. Okay. And piece is going to go like this. Is that right? Yes. Just kind of put it in one of the slots. Then the other slot, and then just kind of hold it in there. And if we've got any excess glue, and attempt to rub it off. If you get too much on the bottom, it's not going to matter at all, because we're never going to see that. So yeah. Okay. Next up, glue the 2 lugs on part number 7, which is this guy. And I've already kind of put it in. There we go. So I guess we're going to have to kind of get a little creative here. Maybe not too much. All right. Okay. Oh, that went in. That actually went in much easier than I was expecting it to. And do the same thing on the other side, and we will be ready to paint, I think. Okay. And bam. Right like that. All right. And so we can flip this around and pretty much got it exactly like the picture's showing. And I'm going to flip the page here really quick because I want to see, okay, so the next stage is, yeah, just assembling the frame, or the next part of the stage is just assembling the rest of the framework, attaching the 2 top and bottom halves of the mandible. So we'll be, I'm gonna paint this, and I will be back in just a moment. Actually, we're gonna paint this too. And we will continue on with the assembly. So I will be right back. Okay, so we're back. We are going to, I guess, put the rest of these frame pieces on. And let's see, we've got the lower piece of the hull here. Let me get some of the tools out of the way. I did get everything painted, so that stuff is sitting over there. And we're going to need all of our little small screws here and a bunch of our Loctite. So let's just get busy, I guess. Got Loctite over here. Just put a couple drops in there. Probably won't need that much, but I got another tube around here somewhere that I'm probably never gonna... I bought a second tube for this job, and I don't think I'm gonna need it. I thought I would at first, but it turns out I don't think I will. Okay. Get these nice and tight. Okay, it does say to put the front piece in, and I guess it pretty much only goes. Does it only go in one way, or can it go in? Technically, you could actually put it in the wrong way, but it's gonna go like this. So that kind of, I'm going to call it the pointed end of that hole is pointing outward, or, you know, towards the outside of the Falcon. So, uh-oh. Actually, I'm going to turn this around since it's it'll be a little bit easier for me to do because I'm right-handed. All right. So we got that piece in. The completed frame assembly should look like this, and it does. Yay. Align the upper half of the mandible with the lower side. Uh-oh. Alright. Carefully fit the assembly together. Okay. And I think we have to kind of, there we go. Push that forward a little bit. Okay, so this is where it gets really fun because usually you have to use some decent amount of pressure in order to fit the in order to align all of the screw holes. So I'm gonna just kind of start from the front and try to get the front aligned. There we go. And we'll also do the other hole here in the front, in the very, very front. Hopefully that'll kind of pull things forward. Okay. And then we'll just start right up the center there. And then I'll do the outside. Now, I wonder where I put my magnet. My screwdriver is losing its magnetization. This isn't like this type of a screwdriver, at least this one isn't normally magnetized. So it's you know, you can, I have an electric motor, like an old motor from like a RC car or something like that. It might be from an airsoft gun. It's got neodymium magnets, very powerful magnets. You can set it in there, and almost instantly it'll get a magnetic charge, or magnetic field, and at least sufficient enough to pick up screws quite efficiently. But it does lose its charge over time, so you have to kind of do it again and do it again over time. Alright, so next one's there. This sucker is going to be a thing of beauty when she is finished. Okay, two more, I think. Now these holes are interesting because they don't really line up quite perfectly. Now they do. And it's nice because these holes are tapered, so it's going to kind of pull everything together nice and tight, so long as you've got the screws in tight. And this one at the back is the worst. There we go. Alright, so that mandible is pretty much finished. Now, well, it's not totally finished, not even by a long shot. So this piece here is, I think, going to go back here like this. And then this piece is going to go over the front like so. Actually, this has a little bit of flex to it too, so. And then this piece is going, actually I don't think it matters, but it's going to go right over the top like that. And then the other two pieces here will go on the underside. Now, the instructions are talking about, you know, this adding the additional plating, and it wants us to put this piece in first. What I want to do, though, and let's take this apart. Let's take this apart. So that's going to be like that. Let's see. Then we're going to have this piece in. It's going to go underneath and then fit right in like this. So let's see. Oh, darn it! I closed up the. This goes to the outside. There we go. So if I glue this in first, there's really not going to be anything else, you know, keeping me from, you know, popping this out. So I can do it either way. All right. Well, in that case, I guess we'll just go ahead and get this one done. So, once again, we need to pop this open and there we go. Get this piece out. The other LEDs, I think we install these in the next issue, so I'll set these aside out of the way. And we'll just untie this for right now. And I think these are going to be connecting to, you know, the main body of the Falcon very soon. Okay, so we've got a picture like this. Okay. And then this like this. Screw the circuit board to the two lugs. Okay. And oddly, I think we're supposed to use the long screws, like the long threaded screws. So I will, it doesn't really specifically say, fit the LED through the center hole in SP22, holding it up this way. It's like, not really the clearest picture. Alright, so I get another threaded brass screw. I guess they're brass. And I'm just so we will need to do probably a little bit of touch-up painting. So what we'll need to do is just take a piece of tissue or silly putty, something like that. You can just, you know, plug the hole up to do some additional work so we don't hit the bulb. Okay, so now I need to make this nice and straight. So you just kind of pull this through, and then we'll just feed this down. Inside the Millennium Falcon mandible. Okay, come on. We've almost got it, guys. And actually, I can take this out for right now. There we go. Ah! Watch the Loctite there, buddy. Okay. So I want it like this, so that this is the top. This right here. Well, you can see it. We'll pull this forward, and then this is going to go into these holes right here. So just like that. So just want to make sure I can push everything down as I need to. All right. So fit the plug into the hole in SF10, feed the wire through the mandible, glue the 4 lugs on the back of SP22 into the matching holes on SF10. Make sure it fits flush. All right, so we've got these 4 pegs. We just did test fit it. This is always the moment of truth. Okay. And you can always put a little bit extra, you know, on the holes just in case. All right, here goes. As soon as they align. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay. Hold that tight against the Falcon. I'm really kind of pushing pretty hard because I want to make sure all of those pieces are aligned. And I think we should be good to go. So there we have it. That piece is never coming out. We could probably get it out if we really needed to. So the side view shows the upper side. So we have a few more steps to do, and it primarily consists of putting all the side pieces on. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a break really quick. So we've got this piece here. Whoops. There we go. That piece. And then this piece. Like here. Got that there. This piece is going to go back here. Whoops. Like this. And then this piece will overlap this. So we'll be all set to go. But I'm going to take a break, let this cure and set, and we'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. We've got the last bit of gluing to do on the Millennium Falcon. So I guess I'll get started. Now the instructions tell us to glue in the lugs on SP40, which I think is this piece. No, this says SP20. Oh no, it does say SP20. Apparently I cannot read. Now the back part here is flat, and there's a little notch towards the front. So we want to make sure that goes in the front. It's going to go right there like that, basically. So I kind of want to remember where those go. And so let's see. All right, so if I match the pins up, we're going to go there, and then the first 2 pins on this front frame, or not the pins, but the first 2 holes in the front frame. So I'm going to grab my super glue. I'm going to try to keep the wiring away from that as much as possible. And I'm just going to kind of dab some glue in these 4 holes. And then I'm going to do the same to the pins on the plastic. Come on. There we go. And again, I want to make sure that the piece with the little cutout is towards the front. And then align everything and then just push it down. That was very, very easy. Very easy, very easy. So now this piece here, we've got the matching flange there on the back that's going to go in there. And so this, though, we're going to have to kind of move it underneath, line it up, and then push it in. So just kind of be prepared for that when you do it. Don't put very much inward pressure on this part, though, because you could potentially break something. Hopefully you won't. All right, next up, more glue on the matching holes. And more glue on the pins. Okay. So move this back pretty much where we want to put it, and then make sure that the rear of this is being pushed down far enough. There we go. And it's kind of difficult to do because I don't have like a, there we go. I don't have like a, like these parts are flexible, and so you actually have to get something that's pushing down on the right spot there. All right. So far, so good. And we'll do some touch-up painting too. I can already tell that there's some differentiation in the coloring there. All right, so next, we move to the other side, where it looks like we install SP24 first, which would make sense because it's got the flatter lug there, and it's going to go right up here. Hopefully, I've got, there we go. It's going to go right up here. We will want to make sure that we're pushing down because there is a little bit of bend to this piece, which may have happened, you know, in transit if it was in the box and it was able to flex, or maybe at the time of manufacture. I don't know. Don't care. Needs to be glued. So, okay, so we're going to do the back, and then the first two holes here and here. So, I'm going to glue that up again. Like that. Glue the pins. Here you can kind of use the use a lot of glue. It's not gonna make too much of a difference. And then just hold this down. Do apply some downward pressure on this, guys. You're gonna have to hold it for a while before it cures, because we are, trying to bond the plastic to the metal, which doesn't really work that great. So that actually took a lot longer to bond, definitely a lot longer, especially because there's a little twist, not a twist, but kind of a flex to that piece. Let's see here. Yeah, the glue is starting to dry in the back. It's more difficult to see down inside, though it does look like it's finally starting to dry and cure, and there you can kind of see it, how it's going to, you know, cure up there. We can actually put a little bit more on if we want. And we do want, because we don't want these side pieces ever popping off. Okay. Second to last piece now. It's going to be up here. It's going to be this piece. Now this one has 6 pins, so it's going to go in a little bit differently. Okay. Again, I want to test fit this, and everything looks good. So I'm gonna get a lot of glue in these holes. And then let's see, yep, front. Like that. Now, just want to line everything up. Again, push down. Okay, and so we held that on there for a good minute or so, applying pressure. Well, see, I still kind of need some pressure on there. Okay, so let's see if this still has a little bit of flex to it, but I think it's going to be okay. If I really want to, I can kind of stretch this out a little bit, apply a thin bead of super glue right along the, I'd probably do it along the bottom, unless it's noticeable on the top. It is somewhat noticeable on the top, but I think that'll be all right. And then I'm going to go back through this. I'll probably stuff some something down in here, just to keep you know, additional paint from getting down in there. But I plan on kind of going around the sides, the front. You know, I'll plug this up a little bit, and then here, in order to get a little bit more insignia white on there. And then we just have one more piece to install. And let's see here. It's going to be this piece, and I don't think it really matters like which way this goes on. So it's like that, or it's like that. So it's kind of, you know, flush here to the top. It hangs off the bottom. If I do it that way, if I turn it around, it, you know, it's the exact same thing. So last but not least, I will grab my super glue. We're going to glue the 2 pins here on either side, and then I'm going to just run a small bead across the top, kind of down the sides just a little bit. And where is my, I had a toothpick. Oh, there it is. Or here's one of them at least. Just to kind of get some of the excess super glue. I don't want lots and lots of it. Okay. So here we go, guys. There's that. And then get a little piece of tissue here just to get the excess glue. And we are finished. We are finished with issue 86. The only thing I have left to do is to test the light on the front of the mandible. So hang on for just a second. We'll get things set up and we'll get this tested. Okay, so we're back. I've kind of gone and just kind of assembled everything as I've got it right now, and just to kind of see how massive this thing is. Not only is it incredibly massive just in size, but also in weight. This thing is heavy, really heavy, actually impressively heavy. I actually cannot believe how heavy this sucker is. But anyway, what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to test the 2 front LEDs. So I've got all the electrics hooked up, except for the cockpit there, and we're gonna test it. So without further ado, I'm gonna try to get up out of my chair and test this thing. They should be coming on right now. And we have 2 working lights. All right, well, that has been it for issue 86. Thank you guys for watching. As always, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, and please subscribe for this and many more videos. I'll see you back for more Star Wars Build the Millennium Falcon in issue 87, where I think we install all the landing lights. So I'm Brad M73. We'll see you next time. Bye for now, guys.